Hello guys, welcome biggity big to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing another perspective on the nature of money. I find this one particularly interesting. But without further ado, this is today's essay. Have you ever been running at top speed and then suddenly something jumps out in front of you? You probably crashed into it, right? But it took a few seconds for you to get to top speed and eventually get to the point where you would lose the ability to to get it under control immediately, like where you would lose your control of your speed. I think money works much the same way. Fast money isn't a myth. It just takes a while for your money to pick up the momentum to become fast. And this comes by you reinvesting your lump sums. With each lump sum that you reinvest, you get a bigger lump sum out of that later down the line. So if it takes a month for you to get your first 100 Rand, and then it takes 6 months to get your first 1,000 Rand, and then it takes 2 more years for you to get your first 10,000 Rand. By the time you get to 100,000 Rand in 1 month, the 1,000 Rands that used to take 6 months for you to get will be coming to you at a rate that is more than daily. Imagine that. So wouldn't you say at that point you are at the fast money level? So if you were earning 1,000 Rand a day, wouldn't you live a fairly comfortable life? It sounds crazy to some people, doesn't it? I understand. We haven't all read the same books. We haven't all been watching the same podcasts and shit. So when someone hears you say 100,000 Rand in a month, boy, are you crazy? Who the hell is earning that? Except maybe some kind of university nerd or some high level salesperson, you know. But here's another thing a question I wanna pose to you. See, don't you think part of the reason why you can't get rich quick is because you don't believe that you can get rich quick? Sure, you might not have said it out loud, but the fact that you haven't challenged that belief shows how deeply ingrained it is within you. You see, we all challenge our beliefs, except the ones which we truly believe at our core, our foundational principles, the beliefs that all other beliefs stem from. Those are the ones that are so there, so much a part of you, you don't even recognize them anymore. It's just who you are. So, why don't you start considering the possibility of you making a few million within a few years? Like, it's not completely unrealistic to think that you could make at least 5 million within 10 years if you started from scratch. As long as you make that the goal, the prime directive, then your subconscious mind starts picking up patterns in the real world that lead towards it. And it also comes with intentional effort. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to make 5 million in 10 years and then continue doing the same things that you've been doing for the last 10 years. No, you need to start optimizing simply, particularly for this one goal of 5 million in 10 years. And even if you don't reach that 5 million in 10 years by your target gate, you would have made so much more progress towards it than you would have if you hadn't set such a big goal for yourself. Like if you had the intention to make 5 million in 10 years, but you ended up only making 3 or 3.5 million in that time period, would you really be mad at yourself, bro? You would still be financially free. You would still have retired your family, your entire family, as long as you're not stupid with the money. That is enough money to take care of you and your clan into the foreseeable future with just a few smart investments that keep returning on themselves every month. Now, I know passive income isn't for everyone, but the point of passive income is just to make sure that if everything goes to shit, you don't have to worry about what you and your kids are gonna eat. So some people might call you a fanny or a pussy, or say that you are some mentally weak somehow for trying to create passive income streams. Those people are probably just trying to sell you a way to make their own active money product. But really, there's nothing wrong with making a livable portion of income passive as soon as possible, while you are still able-bodied, while you are still young, while you still have your passion, drive, and ambition about you. at least set aside some kind of passive investment that will return itself monthly, so that even when you are not working, you will eat. And even if you do set up that thing and you are working at the same time, then the thing that would be returning on itself monthly, you can just allow it to accumulate, right? That's that way. If things do go to shit, then that is the true backup plan. It starts already from a high baseline. So whatever the savings are there, it starts from that point on, and then it just keeps earning itself. So say you are still working, you are working actively, and your active work is earning you about 100K a month. Your living expenses, because now you're a big boy and a big baller and you're living that entrepreneur lifestyle with the rollie and shit, is like 300K a month. Then in that period, you set up a passive stream that returns 350K a month, so that you know that if everything goes to trash again, I've got this 300K and a little change for extra shit in case things go to even further shit. And then you do 10 years of active work where you are earning that 100. Fuck. Fine. This example fell apart very quickly. Let's scale that down a bit. Okay, let's start from scratch. Let's scale that example down. Your active income is earning you 50,000 Rand a month. And your passive stream or passive streams that you set up are bringing you in 20,000 Rand a month, because your living expenses are only 15,000 Rand a month, because you don't need that big boy, big baller entrepreneur lifestyle. You just don't want to have to worry about feeding yourself. That is your prime directive. And you continue doing this for, let's say, 10 years before some awful tragedy occurs and you are unable to work, or at least work at the same level you were before. That stream that was returning 20K on itself every month would now probably be worth way more than 20K. I'm not about to do the calculations now, such that even if the next few months something happened to that stream and it wasn't returning on itself, what it has accumulated so far in your back office is enough to carry you through a few more months until you find something else. Because that's just the kind of guy you are, right? You're just the guy who always finds something else, some other way to survive. You are a hard type of person, not a him. You are a sniff scurry hard type of person. If you don't get that reference, go read, book recommendation time. Go read the.
Okay, I actually made a mistake here. I recommended the wrong book, but you should still go and read The Magic of Thinking Big. However, the book I was referencing in this part of the video is actually called Who Moved My Cheese. So go find that book and then you'll understand the Hem Haas Sniff Scurry reference.
Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. I hope that's who it is. If it isn't, I'll bleep that section out and put the real author's name here. But shit, I went way off script. But the point I was just making here is that if you set a high goal and you don't achieve the exact goal within the predetermined time period, you will at least be at a higher level than if you hadn't set that goal. And not reaching that goal as soon as you had intended only shows that there was something missing in your system. Either you have to readjust your time horizon for the goal, or you have to adjust something in your work rate and your working systems in order to optimize for it even further. So that's it for this video. If you got any value out of this, stick around for more insightful takes like this by hitting that subscribe button. If you're interested in my music or doing a music collaboration with me, all the links are in the description for how to find me or my music. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.